I'm running out of time when I do these videos, so rather than run out of time to read what it is I want to read from this book, I'll do an introduction video separately at another time. I wanted to do a series of videos about one of my passions, which is hiking to waterfalls. And the closest national park to where I live, a few hours away, is Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And I'm on a mission to hike to all of the waterfalls there. I've gotten a few this year, through this past year, and I want to share the most recent hike with you in this video. This little book I bought at the ranger station, this is called Waterfalls of the Smokies. It's a very good guide to the hikes and where to find the waterfalls, whether they're long hikes or roadside. And today, I'm going to read to you about the hike to Abrams Falls, since it was the most recent one I did. It's in Cades Cove. And just a little bit about the hike. It's a great starter hike for people who are just getting into the longer waterfall hikes. It's not that difficult of a hike. It's a great family hike. I made it by myself in just a few hours, but then again, I walk fast. If you are going to do this hike, just a very good piece of advice. From the start of the Cades Cove Loop Road to the beginning of the hike, it's about 5 miles, but because of the way it's a one-lane road and people stopping and taking pictures, it can take almost an hour just to go that 5 miles. So plenty of time if you're going to do this hike. Okay, so this is the Abrams Falls hike. It's a falls with a 25-foot drop. It's a very impressive drop, if not a very tall one, and flows pretty good year-round. And it's a 5-mile round-trip moderate hike. The 25-foot high Abrams Falls plunges into a large pool with the volume of a small river rather than a creek. 18 creeks and branches flow into Cades Cove to form Abrams Creek, which is the only water exit from the cove to the Little Tennessee River. The creek is 35 feet wide at the top of the falls. The plunge pool is over 100 feet long and nearly the same in width. It is tempting to swim here, but don't. The deep pool near the falls has a very strong undercurrent, and at least 2 drownings have been recorded here in the last few years. The water is very deep with a dark green color. The force of the falls throws spray over 50 feet into rhododendron and hemlock on the bank opposite the trail. Spray forms ice on the rocks and plants in the coldest months and cools the air in the hottest. When the early morning sun comes over the ridge and hits the falls, a beautiful rainbow can be seen. One January morning we saw a double rainbow as we stood on the rocks beside the falls. The outer rainbow's colors were in opposite order to the inside one. Smooth pebbles and large battered logs show the force of the water. The falls thunder over a multi-layered cliff of Cade sandstone. Above the falls are 4 or 5 one-foot steps where Abrams Creek drops over more of the sandstone which is prevalent in this area. Abrams Creek and Falls were probably named for Old Abraham, a Cherokee who lived near the cove in Chillouee. A Cherokee village, Tesai Otter Place, was in all likelihood named for the otters which once frolicked in the creek. River otters have been reintroduced to the Great Smoky Mountains, and Abrams Creek is one place where they are occasionally sighted. To get there, take Cades Cove Loop Road about 5 miles to a right turn after crossing Abrams Creek. Follow the gravel road a half a mile to a parking area. Start at the parking area at the junction of Mill and Abrams Creeks. A footbridge crosses Abrams Creek to a trail split. To the right it's a half mile through bottomland to the Elijah Oliver cabin. Straight ahead at the split is the Abrams Creek Trail, which goes through a rhododendron tunnel that is especially beautiful in early summer when it's in full bloom. The trail generally follows the creek until it ascends a pine-covered ridge. Arbutus branches cross before ascending Arbutus Ridge, 200 feet above the creek. At 1.1 miles, the ridgetop is gained, then the trail descends through pines and mountain laurel to a footlog over Stony Branch. A third and final ridge is climbed at 2.2 miles. A footlog across Wilson Creek is reached at 2.5 miles. A short side trail to the left goes to the top of Abrams Falls. Use caution when at the top. Wet rocks are slippery. Continue 0.2 miles down to Wilson Creek before taking a side trail to the base of the falls. Return to the parking lot by the same trail. This is a beautiful walk in the spring and summer, providing plenty of wildflowers, rhododendron, and mountain laurel. This hike goes well with a day trip to Cades Cove. picnic at the falls, or at the Cable Mill Historic Site. So that's a picture of the falls. It's very, very beautiful. The hike is very pleasant. It was the perfect ending. I had taken a trip up to go to the Dollywood amusement park, and the day after I just needed to do something for the day before I went home. I did this hike and it was extremely pleasant. Beautiful waterfall. Sometime I'll post a video of that too. Alright, that's about all the time I have for this video, but I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be back with more very, very soon. Thanks.